Hey, good afternoon, Neil here today with this afternoon's videos. And so, let's see what has happened and what this may have us to look forward to tomorrow. Today, end of quarter, which means that that JPM Collar comes off today. They're going to roll that into a new position, and we'll see where that lands. I think it's going to be up around 5,800 on the call side, on the short call side. We'll see where that lands. I'm doing this a little early because I have to get out in front of the close today. So here's what's happened so far, and what this can lead us to. First of all, on the way down here today, we did make a new low. Not by much, but made a new low. Recall in some prior videos that we were doing pretty recently, we were looking for 55.25 and it traded 35, so it got close. Didn't quite get to the 25 level. That would have been the very first, most immediate idea for this particular leg down. And that came from, if we look back over, if you look left back over here, that came from this turning point right there, all this congestion and this little flip up right there. We're thinking about 25. I guess it stopped on the more like that little low and the low of the body of this, which was actually at 35. But regardless, I mean, it made a new low and it did get close. So with that, we're getting a pretty decent little bounce. Spot Gamma has this as being when when that collar rolls off today at the close, that relieves the other side of that trade, the dealers, that the market making dealer firms that take the other side of that trade, that relieves them of a lot of negative gamma exposure, allowing this thing to potentially kind of indeed bounce. So there's certainly one possibility. There's two really, up or down, right? I mean, seriously, Bo, tomorrow for this reason, there's certainly the possibility of up on that note. And then also, absolutely, certainly, the possibility that this thing just pokes up, runs into some overhead, and slams back down again, because we have the tariff, the implementation of the tariff situation going in, as of tomorrow, and there's headlines today saying that no, it's definitely 100% going forward as is. And so, all right, so if up, here's how I think we'll know. One, well, what's it doing right now? Making lower highs. Okay, so it'll stop doing that. That means tomorrow it'll make a new high above today's high to trigger this thing long. So that would likely, in my opinion, trade this thing into not much, but reasonably something like right here at about 56.60, okay, for one. And then would be 56.85, and then ES. Now, these are ES futures, not SPX. This is futures. And then 57.20. You don't want to see it above 57.20 and try to, I don't think you do anyway, and try to, be like really, bearish on this thing. So that's really top line up there. That's like it. That's it. And now, for bearish though, all the way up to 57.20 is pretty bullish. But for bearish, what makes sense here is this thing would pop a little bit tomorrow into like that first leg of 56.60s and then roll. Okay, now if so, then the target, I believe, would be right here, 54.72 ES, 54.72. That's my next bear target. I'm trying to figure out how to get there, but that's my idea of the next bear target. It was supposed to be 55.25 and then bounce a little bit off of that and then roll again for 54.72. What ended up happening was 35 and it's bounced. So now I'm having to update and say, look, here we are, end of quarter. That big collar, 40,000 contracts, right? That's a big trade. That thing comes off, and with that, this thing's free to kind of move a bit, right? Now, that's bullish. That actually would be bullish. What could be bearish is if the tariff stuff is actually bad, like more negative than that gamma kind of release that, can allow this thing to actually pop a bit. So I have to prepare, honestly, for both. Trigger would be above today's high. That's trigger for tomorrow. And small up that runs into overhead, like I say, it's about 60, and it rolls. And if so, the target. Once it gets a little frisky, though, okay, it is. You have to have targets for what if up or what if down. If up, then you got the next one is 85 and then 57.20. So that's it. That's what I see. This is all ES, no SPX. That's ES. And that's what I got for you for tonight. So let's see what happens, and look forward to being with you again tomorrow for more trading. Take care.
Without simpler trading, I could not have financial independence.
This is one of the best investments I ever made in my life.
It's helping me find consistency.
It's one of the things that won me